What up, it's your boy Darth back at it again with another video, and today we are here with Attack on Titan's final season episode. I'm thinking that this is episode 11. Yeah, this is episode 11. Last episode was a very in-between episode. However, it was an episode that we definitely needed. It was one of those episodes that gave us a lot of things to think about, which is pretty much Attack on Titan at its core, but it gave us a lot of I guess reveals, more mysteries, more character development, and I think one of the biggest things that we got is that Historia is now pregnant. Now, they gave us a story about, oh, it was some dude that used to pick on her when she was a kid, but now, he felt guilty, and she was, she with it or whatever, the guilt, and now they're together. But I think during our discussion, we kind of like came to the conclusion that that's complete bullshit. There's no fucking way that is actually how things went down. I don't even think that the dude is the father. Now, before we get into it, I do want to. We'll talk about it in the discussion. We'll talk about it in the discussion because there's a couple things after like really thinking about the whole like Historia pregnancy thing being bullshit and all this other stuff. I kind of want to see where this episode goes first before we talk about my theory on that. And it goes a little bit into what we talked about a couple episodes ago with the whole where Attack on Titan is going from here. So. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Attack on Titan or something totally different, the best place to send that in is always my social media. My Instagram is Dvrth. My Twitter is @notdarth. You can DM me, you can add me, whichever one you want to do. I will respond to it and make a video on it as soon as possible. So, with all of that out the way, let me get my earphones, make sure they're on. Them bitches is on, and let's just get into it. Damn, that's true. He's like, that dude was genuinely worried about you. Means, is she just saying that, or does she just not want to take it off because she's just that fucking brainwashed? Yeah, but you know who is out in the sticks? You know who is out in the sticks? Sasha's dad. Now, he wouldn't know. Like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, please don't. Is this where there's horses? No, 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 no. Stop. Stop guessing shit, Tracy. Stop guessing shit. No way. No way this is where this is going. They have an aircraft. Oh my god, no! There's no guarantee, yeah. There isn't, but I mean, when you have nukes, you have to look at it like that. When you have nukes, people start treating you like you have nukes. It's also what Aaron said. I worry for Handri. Oh, yep. Yep. Oh. So the same person as the one you saved that day. Are you the one? Oh my god! It's you! Oh god. Oh god. Okay. It sucks because like like oh no. Bank. It sucks because like it sucks because she literally from the beginning, I'm pretty sure everybody's first thought about Gabby was like, "Oh, she looks like Sasha." And now she's living Sasha's life with the man with the father of the woman that she killed. Oh, shut the fuck up. Um, Gabby? Gabby? Mm. Mm. But was it their fault? Was it their fault though? A century ago, Gabby. A century ago. Yes. How have they sinned? Not long ago. Mmm. Mmm. She didn't kill a damn person. Oh my god. Ah! Yes. Mm. Mm. Yes. 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 Oh. God, this show is so good. Oh. Fuck. Here we go. Oh my god. Okay. So first of all, let me go back on the episode just to. So we'll talk about Gabby and Falco, getting out of jail, breaking out of jail first. Uh, just for a small bit, just because there was a small like little insight to the people that they that they talked about, which was that when Gabby was feigning her seizure or whatever the fuck she was feigning, was that when the dude came in, he was like helping her out, and he you know incapacitates him with a brick and just starts beating his ass with a brick. At that, bricked him up, right? Start running out, and then Falco's like, dude, you do understand that that guard was genuinely worried about you, right? You do understand that, right? And that totally spurs off like that totally spurs off the entirety of what this episode was all about. Was bridging the gap of understanding between Marley and and Eldia. So we start off with that understanding of of, you know, like, why did you do that? Like, that guy was genuinely like troubled by your being in agony, you know, like, why, you know, that's crazy. So now, after getting that, you know, after getting that out the way and kind of setting the mood for the episode, we get Gabby's outburst with the armband. Now, granted, they started talking about the armband. I'm automatically like, oh, you're not. It's not because nobody's gonna fit. First, Gabby's like, you know, nobody's gonna see me with the arm. Nobody's gonna see me with the armband and think, oh man, that's somebody from Marley. You know, they're not gonna think that. They don't know that. They from public disclosure, they don't know that damn much, you know. So why would I take it off? But I'm automatically like, no, you just don't want to take it off because it's ingrained in your mind that armband is literally a physical symbol for your brainwashing. It is ingrained in your mind to be exactly what the Marley military and Marley government molded you to be. If you take off that armband and you lose that armband, you basically have forsaken and you have lost everything that you are and that you have become up until this day. The sleepless nights, the hard training, you know, and I'm sure that training must have been detrimentally hard. You know, that training must have been crazy, you know, for Gabby to have gone through all that, the schoolwork, brainwashing, you know, all that other shit, and, you know, just the overall brainwashing and grooming, I guess you could even call it, that Marley put her through is the person that she is today. And for her to take off that armband is to basically forsake everything that she has learned and has acquired since the day she was born. Because at this moment, Gabby's entire like motive is to prove to herself that she is a good Marley or a good Eldian. She wants to prove that there are good Eldians. Now, what she wants to do, you know, her motive is a bit skewed, you know. You can't knock her for that motive. It's a good like overall motive to have. It's a good, you know, goal to have, you know, prove that we're not as bad as people think. On the surface area, that's a great plan. That's great. That's a fantastic goal. Prove to people that you're not monsters, right? Great. But the way she's going about it is so skewed, warped, and just fucked, is for lack of a better term, that she can't even come to take off the damn fucking armband. She can't even come to do that. The smallest thing, to take off a piece of cloth that symbolizes where you're from. And that being such a hard thing for her, such a difficult thing for her, truly shows you how deeply ingrained, how far gone Gabby is. Now, with that being said, here comes, you know, after we get this crescendo of understanding where Gabby's coming from, and you know, this overall like just Gabby breaking down and just spilling her guts out to Falco. This is why I'm doing it. I cannot take this off. You know, all this other shit that just makes you look at Gabby like, shit, you're really down for the cause, huh? You're really you know, brainwashed. But then you get this bridge. It's like the world offered you an olive branch. You get this bridge, which comes in the form of Kaya. coming through the forest, and as soon as I see Kaya, as soon as I could see Kaya, I knew exactly where all of this shit was gonna go. This entire episode, I was like, I know exactly where this is gonna go. I know exactly where this is gonna go. Because I don't know if we actually talked about it. I don't know if we actually talked about it in the episode after Sasha, died. But on Sasha's funeral, and we first saw Kaya, or we first saw Sasha's dad and Kaya. I automatically knew. I was like, oh shit, that's the girl. I don't know if we talked about it in the discussion or it was in the actual reaction where I was like, oh shit, that's the girl. And I didn't like really like completely flesh out what I meant by saying that's the girl. I just said, oh shit, that's the girl. And that was all that I said. But what I, at this point, everybody understands what I meant by that. That's the girl that Sasha saved. Like I was like, yo, that's her. So when we're in the sticks and Gabby's like, oh, well, there's no soldiers in the sticks. Yeah, but you know who is in the sticks? Sasha's dad. And Kaya. Who I didn't know his name was Kaya until now, but I'm glad we have a name to the face, So knowing that Kaya is the little girl that, oh my God, and so, I said it on the Sasha death episode, that moment is still one of my favorite moments in Attack on Titan. It is probably top 5, top 3, one of my favorite moments in Attack on Titan, because it is one of the shining moments of humanity. It is, because in Attack on Titan you get a lot of depressing shit. You get a lot of depressing shit, and when things aren't depressing, they're triumphant. And things that are triumphant aren't always like just, oh my God, this is so beautiful, like triumph comes from killing the enemy. Triumph comes from pushing back. Triumph doesn't come from giving. You know what I'm saying? So when we get to season 2, episode 2, where Sasha is like, go, run, I'm gonna handle this Titan, live another day. It is one of the most shining moments of humanity in the show, because it shows somebody giving to another instead of triumphing. Like I said, triumph is great. You feel so proud when you see things like that. Eren moving the boulder over to plug in the wall, defeating the armored Titan, defeating the colossal Titan, capturing Annie. All these things are triumph. You love to see it. I love to see it. All these things. When Levi was carving the fuck out of Annie in that forest, when Levi was carving the fuck out of Zeke in that field, triumph. When Erwin mounted his last charge, triumph. But these things were not positive. These things were very much negative. These things did not show you the best of humanity. But when Sasha ran at that Titan, a Titan, Sasha ran at a Titan with a hatchet and finished it off, or incapacitated it at least, with not a bow and arrow, but an arrow. One arrow. A hatchet and an arrow. All to save this little girl's life. Never met her. Don't know who you are. For all Sasha knew, you were pretty much a goner. Sasha snuck past the Titan to get the little girl. I don't think people understand. And it might just be because this is an anime. It's, it's animated. It's a show. It's a cartoon. So people don't understand how scary that has to be. But that's terrifying. In their world, that's terrifying. For Sasha to sneak past this Titan, come at it with an axe, sneak past it, save the girl, run, lose her horse, tell the girl, like, continue to push the girl on, because this girl has given up on life at this point. And at that moment, I remember in that episode, the girl's like, "Why are you so nice to me? Like, why do you care?" Everybody else ran. Because they knew that my mom's legs weren't bad, or my mom's legs weren't good, so she wasn't going to make it. Everybody else ran. Why are you being so nice? Sasha didn't have an answer. She was just like, "Get running." And in that moment, the whole time, this girl's eyes are completely dead, like dead fish. Gone, grayed out. But as soon as Sasha says, "Get running," and aims that bow and arrow at the Titan, you see the life come back to the girl's eyes. And it's that moment of not defeat. It's not a moment of triumph. It's a moment of pure humanity. It's kindness. You get that moment. And in this episode, when you see Kaya come out from the forest to these people, these children who pretty much have been taught from birth that to hate Kaya's people. They've been taught hatred since birth. And I automatically know where this episode's going, because you get two children whose lives were born into hatred, and then you get Kaya, whose life was saved by kindness, by love. And I don't know, man. It was such a beautiful thing, just that in general. So, you get the whole story. You get the whole story of yeah, I'm Ben. This is my little sister Mia. We out here. All this other stuff. And I automatically knew it was gonna be Sasha's dad. I'm so mad that I need to just shut the fuck up at this point. I genuinely need to just shut the fuck up, because I didn't want it to go here, because I know where it's going now that they've made contact with Sasha's dad. I should have shut the fuck up. I should have just shut the fuck up, bro. I really should have. So you get the whole scene with I almost said Mia. GABI not being able to even eat the food that they gave her. Kindness, hospitality. But GABI's so entrenched in having to hate these people that she can't even eat the damn food. She can't even accept the kindness, because accepting their kindness would accept that these people aren't all that bad. They aren't all that bad. So no wonder she can't even eat their food, or like she struggles to eat their food, because like that would be accepting a kindness from Eldian. Eldian scum, as they call them, the Eldian devils. Now, here's next. We really gotta talk about this, because this is some real shit. So it seems that as Hiruzu has revisited the Eldia, well, not Eldia, but the walls, whatever. Hiruzu has revisited the walls. And they have come with gifts, presents, to be specific, a present, which seems to be an aircraft. Now, I'm almost sure it's an aircraft because, one, they say, yes, it may just be the world's first flying boat powered by ice burst stone. Now, the fact that, one, it's powered by ice burst stone, two, they refer to it as a flying boat. So this thing has the capability to be in the water, right? Okay, understandable. You get it's very versatile in that aspect. But it's powered off of ice burst stone, which we have already seen has damn near given scouts the illusion of flight. Now, of course, with a boat, aircraft, something like that, this is gonna weigh at most a ton, a couple tons, really, and that's without the fuel. So this thing is going to be a little bit harder to get very far into the air. You know, this thing is going to be a little bit hard to get into the air. But with this being powered by ice burst stone, we don't have we have a real world understanding of how powerful like gasoline or fossil fuels are, right? But the fact that this is powered by ice burst stone, specifically saying that it's powered by ice burst stone, we don't know how powerful, how resourceful ice burst stone is when it's perfected in this, in this way. We definitely know that it gives, our scouts the illusion of flight. We know how powerful it is. It's very, very resourceful, very powerful. It's very versatile. But the fact that ice burst stone is not something that we have a real world understanding of just yet gives the possibilities of this vehicle. The possibilities of this vehicle are endless at this point. The ice burst stone very well could be strong enough to actually make this motherfucker fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may not just hover over the water, and that's like, well, okay, that's cool, whatever. Because like, if it were like that, why didn't they just make a boat? Instead of doing this dumb shit, you could have made multiple boats, like really well made metal, I don't know, titanium armored boats, like you could make multiple of something that you already know how to make. But instead they make something that is basically not known to man. Flying boat with ice burst stone. Okay, right. So what does it do is the question. Well, we understand that it flies. Next question, how well does it do it? Because like I said, if it doesn't fly, why the fuck did you make it? Just make more boats with cannons. Would have made more sense. But because they specifically made this, gives me the thought that this thing is a lot more capable than I'm actually thinking, than just hovering over the water. I'm not even tired. I don't know why I'm yawning. Like, it's a lot more versatile than just, oh yeah, it hovers over the water and just goes really fast. Okay, maybe that is all that it does. And if it's speed that they're looking for, then yeah, it is really useful, even if it just hovers. So maybe that's what they're looking for. But if it's not doing just that, this thing might actually be able to take flight. You might actually get aerial combat against Titans, which we know is probably it's going to be really detrimental when it comes to fighting a Titan. Against a Titan, aerial combat could be very much detrimental, unless you're like against Zeke, who can just throw shit at you, But other than that, you're not really going to get that. So with the whole ice burst stone flying boat thing, Uh, this could be something that's actually a problem for Marley. But next, we'll talk about the leakers and Hanji, right? So, here's Hanji's dilemma. Hanji is hovering between doing what's right for the people and doing what's right for the people. And when I say that, I say that because Hanji herself is probably not very sure what is actually right for the people. And it's this power dynamic that you get within yourself against yourself when you get into these situations, because like part of you is like, nah, let's do it this way. Let's keep the information from the people, for their own sake and all this other shit. And then there's another part of you that's like, no, fuck, I'll be on again. There's another part of you that's like, no, let's not keep it from the people. Let's keep that, or let's give that information out. Let people understand the circumstances that they're in, all this other shit. But which one is the best option for the people? Well, the people are going to want to know, right? But do the people need to know? Well, I don't know. And that's the problem when it comes to Hanji, right? Or at least that's Hanji's problem. That if you remember in third season? Yeah, third season. In the first part of the third season, when they detain the two servants of the king, and Hanji basically just goes on a rampage against them, like you kept all this information, y'all I'm glad that y'all are in the jail cells. I'm glad y'all are incarcerated, and you guys deserve to be incarcerated for the rest of your lives, living your lives in a jail cell, all this other shit. But when Hanji actually gets the power to make these decisions, it's a little bit harder than she thought. It's a little bit harder because now she's hit with the weight of these decisions that people, the people before her were hit with. If we go back to that episode where one of the servants, I forget his name, but one of the servants is like, we did this for humanity. We did this for the sake of humanity. That couple that wanted to fly, that whore that stepped that made a man step out of his marriage. A teacher who couldn't keep his mouth shut. We killed these people and we kept it quiet because people shouldn't know. People should know because it's for their own good. And in that moment, Hanji was like, no, you're stupid. People should definitely know, because in that moment she was people. She was people in that moment. She wasn't the one calling the shots. She was a part of that society. She was like, well, I should know, But now she's in the position with now she's in the position of these people who basically had that power to keep people quiet. Now she's that person that's like, do I keep people quiet? Do I let the people know what's actually happening? And people are like, yeah, I want to know. Let us know. Why'd you keep this from us? But Hanji's like, well, now that I have this power, is it for the greater good to let these people know what's going on, like the full story? She doesn't know. She doesn't know the answer. I don't think anybody actually knew the answer. I think that was what was weighing so heavily on those servants as well. So, I just feel bad for. I just feel really bad for Hanji because I don't know, man. Like, I don't think Hanji saw this much coming. Like, I don't think anybody did, really. I don't think anybody did. And to go on to like the restorationists. So funny story. I've been rewatching Attack on Titan lately. I've been rewatching from episode 1, season 1 to up to, I think I'm like at season 2 right now. I rewatched Attack on Titan a lot. Like, I probably have rewatched Attack on Titan maybe like 10, 11 times at this point. And that's just because it's one of those shows. It's probably one of the few shows. Honestly, it's probably the only show where I'll, the more I watch of it, the more I'm like, I have to rewatch it now. So I've been rewatching Attack on Titan. I got to episode like 6, like last week. I started rewatching it. When I got to like episode 6, which is the episode where Mikasa saves the little girl who we now know his name is Louise. Got to episode 6, and Mikasa saves the little girl, and she seems so starstruck by Mikasa. She's like, "Oh my God, thank you for helping us." You know, she's just like, she gives that I want to be you when I grow up kind of thing. And I saw that, and I was like, I wonder when she comes. I wonder when or if she ever comes back into the story. Because what I've learned from Attack on Titan is that every little thing matters. Every small little thing. If Mikasa next episode sneezes twice, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck she do that for? Why'd she do that? What was the meaning of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those shows. So whenever I saw that, I was like, okay, interesting. So now we're at this episode, and we get Louise, who is one of the Eldian leakers. You know what I'm saying? Where she's like, oh, this is for the greater good. This is for the greater good. So now you can see where Mikasa's influence comes back. For her in the beginning to be like, for her in the beginning to be doing it for the people. She's doing it for the people. She seems so for the people, because even in that situation, you saw how like Demo Reeves was like, hey, screw these people. I'm trying to get my payload through the tunnel. And Mikasa's like, no, my niggas is out there dying. These people right here are about to die. And she's doing this all for the people. But now, in this episode, you can see that even Mikasa's conflicted on what is the best course of action for the people. Is it to give out this information and, let people know what's actually going on, like Louise is doing, where she's like, no, when you saved me and I was inspired, you were doing it for the people, for the greater good of humanity. So that's what I aspire to be, and that's what I'm doing now. But Mikasa, with the foresight of what she's gone through so far and stuff, she now has to think to herself, is that good enough? Is that good? Is what I've been doing the right decision? Is it the right decision to continue doing it for the people? Because what it's like I said, everybody's caught in this power struggle with themselves of, do I do it for the people or do I do it for the people? I don't know. And I honestly pity Mikasa and who else? Hanji for being in this situation, and everybody else that's in this situation, because I know for a fact that this shit has to be hard on them. So next, we'll talk shortly about Yelena, and I say shortly because, like, I think we understand what's happening here. Yelena definitely has some shit up her sleeve. I think we've known that since we met Yelena. Since Yelena started acting horny for Titans. um, we kind of figured that Yelena had something up her sleeve because, now Pixis is like kind of showing like the evidence of like, hey, whenever, Aaron pulled up to this, pulled up to, do his shit, you were kind of in the fray of that. You were kind of like somewhere around doing something that made it look like you had something to do with it, basically in that manner where she's like, when this shit was happening, you was close. When this shit was happening, you was close. When this shit was happening, you was close. So what the fuck are you doing? So yeah, Yelena definitely has some shit up her sleeve, and it scares me because, like I said in the last episode, Zeke is out there with a bunch of scouts that are pretty much like targets, weapons for Zeke. Because Zeke, all he has to do is just yell at people. He just has to yell at you. Now, granted, like I said, we don't know the circumstances or, what the conditions that have to be met in order for Zeke to just turn you like that, right? But it still stands that Zeke has the power to just turn people. So the fact that he's out there, the fact that he's out there with these people, and Zeke is totally calm about it, Now, granted, Levi's totally calm about it too. He's like, man, listen, you do anything, I will dice you the fuck up. And I believe him. But the point is that I don't think Zeke is a smart man. Zeke knows that he got his ass beat by Levi last time that they went toe to toe. Zeke knows that if they went toe to toe again, Levi is probably still gonna beat your ass. There is no contest when it comes to Levi. When it comes to a competition of who's stronger, Levi is gonna come out, the winner every time. I think Zeke is smart enough to know that. So how do you beat somebody like Levi? How do you start to put your plan into motion? Which I don't think that Zeke's just main thing is like, I need to kill Levi. Zeke is thinking way bigger picture than that. But I believe that Levi's demise is like in the how you say, like, Levi in Zeke's plan. Levi is also like, or in Zeke's plan, Zeke is also like, if I can like kill Levi on the way to my ultimate goal, I'm down with it too. So I think Zeke is a smart man. So whatever Yelena and Zeke are planning is about to take effect very soon. Very soon. It seems like the cogs are in motion, that things are about to go downhill. So, lastly that we want to talk about before the after credit scene is the conversation between Kaya and GABI. Now, GABI, we already talked about it. GABI is totally for, like, she's gung-ho for Marley, whatever. And I think it was pretty obvious that Kaya already knew that they were Marleyan. I think it was pretty obvious, but she kept quiet. That's the thing. She kept quiet. She didn't say anything. She didn't divulge any information because Kaya wants to know why they hate them. Why GABI's people hate her so much. Because in the words of Kaya, in the words of Grisha, in the words of Aaron, all these younger people, we didn't do anything. When Grisha was young and being taught the story of Eldia's sins, after Faye died, Grisha was like, but me and Faye didn't do any of that. We just walked outside. Why did she have to die? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Aaron and everybody else. We didn't do that. Why do we have to die? You know, like, so Kaya's asking the same question. And one thing that I really appreciate about Kaya in this episode, when she's arguing with Zeke, or not Zeke, when she's arguing with GABI, is that Kaya does not raise her voice. Up until like the end, where Kaya's like really putting a punctuation on her point, Kaya does not raise her voice. Kaya simply asks, why did my mom have to die? And you know, GABI's like, no, because don't you understand that your people centuries ago did horrible things? And she's like, centuries? Wait, huh? We didn't do that. What are you talking about? We didn't do that. So why centuries ago? I'm 8. I'm 8. I didn't do that. You know, GABI's continuously going on this, and GABI's only comeback every time is that your people have sinned. Kai's like, my mom got eaten by a titan. What? She didn't do anything. She's dead. She's too dead to have sinned. So why do you hate us? And it is in that moment we get that breakdown of GABI, where she's like, shit, I'm so wrong, but it's all she knows. So I doubt that GABI's gonna be like, oh wow, yo, you know, that you I guess you're right, guess we should be homies now. You know, GABI's not gonna do that. She's too far gone. But at least feel like GABI now understands that she's wrong. No matter how much he preaches about wanting to be a good Eldian and oh yeah, I just want to, you know, I just want to restore the good Eldians, you know, I want to show Marley that we're good people, you know, all this other shit, you know, like I understand that we sin, you know, all this other shit. But she understands that she's wrong for thinking it. It's kind of like a racist, right? It's kind of like a racist. You know, them understanding that they hate a certain race, you know, let's say black people, Hispanic, you know, whatever. Like, I hate black people. You know, they hit you with that. I hate black people. Why? Because, you know, back when my grandfather was a little boy, this black dude beat his ass. Like, I didn't do that. Yeah, but your people was doing it. My people? Like, my mom? What'd she do? Nah, but your mom's descendants, they was doing it. What the fuck? I didn't do shit to you. Like, my mom's dead. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, it's the same way, you know, with like, it has like really real life implications of like, yeah, your people a long time ago did something really bad, so I hate you. I didn't do that. Yeah, but your people did. Who? Like, you know, like, you, and like I said, it's the fact that GABI was so angry and Kaya was just like so calm about it. You know, she was so calm. She was just like, no, we didn't do anything to you. You know, it's like this thing. It's because she was so quiet with it, because she was so calm and cordial with it, it further breaks GABI's you know, image of these Eldian devils, because as far as she knows, the people within the walls are brutes. They're barbarians. You know what I'm saying? They're Neanderthals. But here is this little girl who is the very race that you hate, and she is just eloquently stating her point, stating why you're wrong. You're starting to believe it because she's making sense. This girl is not a barbarian at all. She's not a Neanderthal. You both speak the exact same language, and she seems to be speaking it better than you. More eloquently than you. She's not yelling at you. It's in that moment where you look into each other's eyes and you see how you look. In the reflection of her eyes, you see how you look, and you look like a barbarian. You look like a Neanderthal, yelling, screaming, not making a damn sense, not making any damn sense. Repeating the same argument over and over, while this young lady is like, no, I'm giving you example after example after example why you're wrong. And you still give me the same argument. So who's the moron? Well, it's GABI. You know, I don't 100% blame GABI for because that's just how she grew up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, hate is taught. You know, racism is taught. You know what I'm saying? GABI was taught this. It's not just gonna take one little girl to break that type of hatred, you know. But Kaya comes pretty damn close. Kaya comes pretty damn close. And then to tip it all off, to be the cherry on top of Kaya's argument, which they haven't revealed yet to GABI, but the cherry on top of Kaya's argument is where Falco and GABI asks, basically, why are you like this? You know, it like that's not their exact, you know, it's not their exact question, but they ask, how did you survive? Why are you here today, having this newfound hope on life, having this kindness, having this eloquent, you know, being able to speak so eloquently? What made you today? And it's the most beautiful circle of life shit that I've ever seen. It's the fact that Kaya says, there's a girl that saved me. I was about to get eaten by a titan. Things that we both are afraid of. There's a girl that saved me, that showed me kindness beyond anything that I have ever seen. The bravery that I have never seen in any human being ever. Kindness that I have never seen in any human being ever. And I want to be just like that girl. If she was still alive to this day, I'm sure that she would show you the exact same kindness that she showed me. And I want to be exactly like that girl. That's why I haven't yelled at you. That's why I didn't rat you out that you were Marlene. That's why I tried to understand you first. Because I want to have the exact same kindness that girl showed me. And that girl being Sasha motherfucking Browse, Potato Girl herself. The same girl that Sasha killed. Or not Sasha, that GABI killed. That's the same girl. So let's say that GABI does start to see Kaya's way of thinking. Let's say that she does. And GABI finally sees Kaya as this beacon of hope, kindness, and this bridge that she needed to understand life on a different level. Then you find out the reason why this girl is like this is because of another girl that showed her that exact same kindness. Gabi is looking at Sasha reincarnated. And even then, Sasha forgave Gabi. Sasha forgave her. She might not be alive to forgive her right now, but on Sasha's behalf, Kaya is forgiving her. So I would assume that would be Gabi's breaking point, to understand that this girl that has shown her so much kindness, so much understanding, is the byproduct of the woman that you killed. I am telling you right now, and I'm probably about to get into another rant, but this show's writing, God tier. I don't know how many times I have to tell people this. This writing, this show is good. This show is so good. I have never, ever, ever watched a show so good. Oh, the show is so good. Man. Oh, the show is so good. This show is so good. It's so good. It is so good. So, with all that being said, let's quickly talk about the end credits here. There's not really much to talk about except for surprise attack. Shit's about to go down. We're about to have the Cart Titan, the Armor Titan, and the Jaw Titan with a surprise attack against the walls. Parody. I don't know why I haven't been calling it Paradise. I've been calling it the walls in like Eldia. The walls of Paradise. Now they're about to attack Parody, you know. I would assume that if they attack Parody, you only have one option, and that is the rumbling. You have to use the rumbling now. You have to use it now. There is no, oh yeah, man, maybe they'll just chill out if we just send a couple of... No, if they attack now, they might have just forsaken the world. Because if they attack, Aaron's just going to be like, oh, it's like that. Okay, little nigga. Okay. Beat their ass. Kill their entire family. Everybody, everything that they have ever known, destroy it. Now Aaron has to end the world if they do this. They have to now. There is no maybe we just test out the power. No. Launch the nukes. Launch the goddamn nukes. So yeah, that end credit scene basically solidified my theory of the entire rumbling being used. It has to be used now. If they do it now, he's definitely letting loose those colossi. Now, I still believe that the show goes like supernatural and shit like that. But just to touch on this before we get off, I did mention a theory that I was concocting in my head. We talked about how they have to make contact with the first Ymir, right? They have to make contact with the first Ymir, right? And as we also talked about, in the ED, there's a little girl in front of a tree We don't see that tree anywhere on Earth, right? We've had this conversation already. Don't see the tree anywhere on Earth. Has to be supernatural on some like Titan dimension shit, blah blah blah. You know, we're not gonna rehash that. But what I will say, what if the little girl, because we already said the little girl has to be like Ymir, right? The first Ymir or whatever. What if it's not the first Ymir specifically? What if the little girl that we see in the ED, if it is a little girl, I might once again might be totally wrong. I might just sound stupid, and manga readers are probably just like, yeah, this nigga's stupid. But what if it's Krista's daughter? Krista's pregnant right now. I still don't believe that that's the father. No fucking way. No, that's not the father. I just don't believe that. She's pregnant right now. That little kid is about 6 or 7, give or take. Aaron's dead before that, right? Aaron has to be dead before that. Aaron only has like 3 years left. I don't think she inherits it. At the very least, I think that Historia at least names her daughter Ymir. Whether that be the astral projection, you know, supernatural Ymir that we see in front of the tree and all this other shit, you know, all this crazy shit, but some way Krista probably names her daughter Ymir, and that plays a part into like the supernatural aspect that comes into play afterwards. Or I'm totally wrong and I just sound like a fucking moron. Regardless of what they decide, I'm sure that this show is going to be even more amazing, and especially since a lot of manga readers have been saying, yo, this shit's about to get wild. You haven't seen shit, nigga. You ain't seen shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my theory. I'm not gonna go too deep into it because I mean, I think this discussion is already like almost an hour, so I won't get too deep into it and then make this a 2-hour discussion. Fuck no, nobody's gonna watch that. But if you have made it this far, I appreciate you. I also appreciate you for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Attack on Titan or something totally different, the best place to send that in is always my social media. My Instagram is Dark2H's. My Twitter's @NotDark. You can DM me, you can at me, whichever one you want to do. I'll respond to it and make a video on it as soon as possible. I'm not even about to talk about the whole. Here's what I'll do. If you're watching this right now, the full length of this episode will be on Patreon. I don't know if it'll be on Patreon the exact same time because it takes a while to render full length episodes, but the full length will be on Patreon. And then I'll add the other episodes as we go. Or, you know, the later episodes I'll add on Patreon as well. And then from here on out, I'll start rendering, putting up full length Attack on Titan on Patreon. So I at least stay true to that. So with all that being said, let me get my off button ready. Yeah, you all stay amazing, stay safe, and take care of yourselves.